KSL News starts now.
Good morning to you. And breaking overnight, a new poll shows that Donald Trump is falling to a tie with Hillary Clinton among Utah voters, but someone else is surging. The latest number is less than a month away from the elections coming up.
Also, Donald Trump is a free man now, at least according to Donald Trump. His recent string of controversial tweets and the fighting that is going on inside the GOP right now.
And a new report lists teenagers' top mistakes while learning to drive. Why the research suggests parents could be partially to blame. We'll have that for you coming up after a check of our forecast now with Grant Wayman, 6 o'clock on this Wednesday.
All right, chilly again this morning, Andrew. Thanks to a front that came through last night, skies have cleared. The difference is the temperature some 20 degrees cooler than it was yesterday, so get the jackets back on. 41 in Riverton right now. Roy's in the 40s. Harriman, Kearns, all into the 40s this morning, so it's definitely cooled off, and it's cleared as well. We had those clouds yesterday morning. Front moved through into Colorado right now, and so the skies have cleared here except for a few high clouds over the eastern part of the state. Lots of sunshine today. Temperatures climbing. Almost 70 degrees. One of those days it'll be kind of cool in the shade, but warm in the bright sunshine. 70s in Richfield and Moab, and it's warmer in St. George. They get lots of sun. 84 degrees. 70s making a comeback here. We'll tell you when straight ahead, but we go to Andy Farnsworth right now.
Well, early risers have a good start to the drive, all clear along I-15. This is looking in Sandy, heading towards downtown. You should be able to get from Lehigh to downtown in about 20 to 22 minutes, going the entire stretch at the full speed limit. Davis County also off to a good start. This is in Centerville, just south of Parish Lane, heading towards Bountiful. But I haven't seen any particularly busy spots yet from Ogden all the way to Salt Lake City either. We're clear from Tooele and Park City on I-80 into Salt Lake as well.
Welcome in on this Wednesday morning with Andrew Wittenberg. I'm Lori Pritchard. We do have breaking overnight new poll numbers out showing a dramatic shift of voter support ahead of the presidential election, now less than 4 weeks away.
Donald Trump is fading. The independent candidates are making a run. Let's get it right to Shara Park in the Breaking News Center to break it all down for us. Shara.
Good morning, Andrew and Lori. Well, this poll conducted by Y2 Analytics, you'll find the full report in the Deseret News this morning. Well, they surveyed 500 likely voters here in Utah over the phone over the past 2 days. That's critical because it shows Utahns' response to both the debate and the Access Hollywood audio of Trump making those sexually degrading remarks about women. Take a look at these numbers. Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump tied at 26%. Gary Johnson is gaining support at 14%, but he's in fourth behind another independent candidate, Evan McMullin. The BYU graduate has surged into the statistical tie with the two major party presidential candidates. He's at 22%, and the poll has a plus minus 4.4% margin of error, just to make note of. Also important in the research here, a majority of voters statewide, and specifically Mormons, say that Donald Trump should drop out of the race. You may remember back in August, Utah Policy conducted a poll which found that Trump held a double-digit lead over Clinton, 37% to 25%. Johnson was at 16% in that survey, which took place before McMullin had ever entered the race. So that's a lot of change here in Utah in just the past few months, but we'll see as we continue to move forward towards that election date. Lori?
So interesting, those poll results. Well, stay with us here on KSL as we continue to follow the race for the White House with a live interview with independent candidate Evan McMullin at noon today and Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson live on KSL News Radio this afternoon.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump is hitting back at the GOP this morning, calling them disloyal after many have taken back endorsements of the presidential candidate. Trump shot off a series of tweets, including this one that's gaining plenty of attention this morning. It reads, "It is so nice that the shackles have been taken off me, and I can now fight for America the way I want to." He also referred to Paul Ryan, House Speaker, this week as weak and ineffective after the House Speaker said he'd no longer defend Donald Trump.
In local headlines this morning, attorneys for a Utah man imprisoned in Venezuela say his situation is only getting worse. Jeanette Prieto represents Josh Holt. She says prison guards forced him to strip down Tuesday in a hallway and perform exercises. Now, Senator Orrin Hatch says he's disappointed by these reports, and Holt's mother says she's infuriated, as you can imagine. Family members thought progress would come on Tuesday during a court hearing, but that was canceled when the judge didn't show up. Police now want to know if there are any more victims connected to the man arrested in this week's Amber Alert. Now, investigators say Weston Kuby sexually assaulted an 11-year-old boy before being arrested Monday afternoon. According to police, Kuby had extensive conversations with that boy online, coached him on what to say to his parents to avoid detection. That boy is back with his family this morning in Kubi, sitting behind bars on $200,000 bail. He'll go before a judge tomorrow.
New today, a report out by AAA. It identifies the 3 top deadly mistakes made by teen drivers. But an interesting part to the study shows parents are partly to blame for not preparing their teens for the road. Joining us live to talk about this new report, Tracy Potts, live from Washington. And Tracy, teen drivers involved in nearly 14,000 deadly scenario crashes in the past 5 years alone.
Yep. And AAA says, Andrew, that we parents are setting a very bad example by driving while talking on our cell phones, guilty here, and also speeding as much as our teens are. And that, they say, is something that parents need to correct to set a better example for these teens. In terms of what the teens are doing behind the wheel, they found that there are 3 top mistakes that could lead to these deadly accidents. Number 1, and you'd think it might be distracted driving, but actually the number 1 mistake was what they called poor visual field, having tunnel vision, looking ahead, but not necessarily looking at everything going on the